OBS had crashed, but we are back. So, well,
Um,
I think I hope we got the recording of the last. It's gonna suck if we didn't, but you know, I don't know.
we got some of mine. I saw on the thing that it stopped at the very end of mine, but I got all I had to
Yeah,
say anyway.
Okay.
yeah. It stopped at the end of the mirror. It stopped when I said it went down earlier. But I
Uh,
think but I think you thought I said your camera went down.
Oh, okay,
mm,
okay. All right. So we're
Yeah, yeah,
okay. Well, we're
yeah.
live again, and hopefully, uh, there's not an issue. And if there is an issue, then I'll
well,
just take the videos
let
down
me
and cut them together later on. So,
let me post this everywhere just to make sure we get our audience because I want Arthur to be here and everybody.
yeah. Are we
Okay,
are
looks
are
like
we
we're...
are we live again?
Yeah, looks
Yes,
like
we are.
we're live again with
Okay.
one viewer at the moment.
Oh, that sucks. That's so
Went
that's so shit.
down.
It's probably me on my phone actually thinking
No,
about it.
I had OBS crash on me the other day, and I think I I updated it, and that might be the issue. I don't know. I gotta figure out what's going on with it, but hopefully it doesn't crash again.
All right, let me
Okay.
just post the art stream on the Monstieur thing, and I'll be good to go.
But we are live
Okay,
again.
so
Okay, good.
so should we give it a minute for people to come back, or
I'm gonna probably have to load everybody up anyway, and so I don't know. But I suppose just move forward, and we'll just end up finishing the show, and I'll cut it together later, so there's just one stream that everybody can watch, and there you go.
okay?
Oh, Furin's here. Furin's a G.
What's up, Furin? Thanks for coming back. We love you.
Okay, so I guess I'll just explain this through again before I show my piece off. So kind of
Yeah.
like Blake started thinking about it in terms of like the basic idea of the film without any of the kind of colourful, wacky Tim Burton stuff, and it's essentially a film about a spectral entity that wants to abduct an underage girl. So if you start thinking about it in those terms, it's like a lot more of a horror film. And so I just kind of, this came together pretty quickly as a concept. I just decided to treat it like that.
Let me see.
It's extra creepy that way. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
So
yeah.
the idea I had with this is it's like it's being caught on a night vision camera, like the camera's the only thing that can see him.
Oh wow,
Like
that's a good idea.
anybody else in the scene isn't actually like aware that he's there.
That's a fun
I just
dynamic,
decided,
especially for
just
like
decided
filming.
to, just decided to like try and take the basic look of Beetlejuice. Like I was looking at stills from the film when he first shows up. He's in that like ratty looking coat as opposed to the pinstripe suit, and like figure out how I could take that design and make it, you know, creepy. Thinking back to like Japanese horror and stuff like that, and like found footage stuff. Like how do you make a design like that creepy? And it just came together fairly quickly.
It's like Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, kind of, but you know, actually, you know, you can actually see something.
Sure.
Yeah, that's
cool.
That is creepy.
Yeah, that'd be a cool dynamic for filming for sure. Like have the whole obviously like the whole movie would be like about cameras and stuff, setting up film, setting up cameras, cameras going out, cameras coming on, like, you know, all kinds of stuff, and then, you know, having this entity kind of appear like, you know, appear on
Yeah.
various screens, make them glitch out, make stuff come out of the screens, all that kind of stuff.
So one of the things I was thinking about with this is like, if you think about the film, it's essentially told from the perspective of like the dead people. So if you imagine the film from the perspective of people who are alive, it becomes like a lot more horrifying.
Exactly.
I just wanted to kind of capture a little bit of that idea, like, you know, how would like the living perceive something like Beetlejuice? I had the idea that he'd just be like this very kind of creepy, monstrous thing that you wouldn't want to be around. In line with the idea that he's like a bioexorcist, his idea is to drive out the living. It's like you wouldn't really want to be anywhere near this thing.
Yeah, that doesn't sound that appealing.
I love what you did to his lips. That's so cool.
Thanks. Yeah, that's probably the part of this. I'm going to preempt James and say that's the part of this I'm the most happy with. Like the head came together really, really quickly.
It's interesting that somehow it has an Alice Cooper vibe.
It's funny you mention that. I've been listening to a lot of Alice Cooper recently.
There we go.
We're not worthy.
Yeah, just like appears in your house and starts telling you facts about Milwaukee while trying to
It's pronounced Milwaukee. Ah!
So
That's cool.
So that's your favorite part. What would you say your least favorite part is?
It doesn't have the gap.
Lack of a tooth gap, and the fact that again, kind of like Blake with the holidays and everything, like 10 days to work on this ended up being crunched down to about 1. So I would have loved it if I'd have had more time to just go in and like render out everything and make it look really kind of creepy and atmospheric and like add more detail to things and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the challenge of this show is like to put everybody under a time constraint to come up with something relatively fantastic, and that stuff like that happens. We all get sick, there's life events that happen, there's holidays, all that stuff. It's an interesting challenge to work around for sure. And we don't always win.
Yeah, I would have loved to have gone in. And added like more texture and depth to the background and stuff like that, and really worked up the coat. But yeah, I didn't have the time, unfortunately.
That's all right. We'll keep moving. Next one's Predator. So if you're part of that, that should be a fun one.
Holy shit, that's going to be difficult because that's already basically a perfect design. So
yeah, just like Beetlejuice, but it can happen.
I'm so excited for Predator. I don't think I'm never gonna get a job. I'm never gonna do anything else with Monstieur. Predator's gonna be sick.
Well, good piece, Kanji. That's a good piece.
Thank you.
Yeah, even time constraints. It looks cool. I dig the camera idea for sure.
Honestly, I'm really happy to see an illustrated piece by Kanji, like a full scene, because I don't know, like the last the last 2 you did, right? You did Skeletor and Spawn. And both of them were like a character standing in a cool pose. But now this is like a scene. And
I wanted to, because like everything I do is usually based in line. That kind of goes hand in hand with like what I do usually being kind of storyboarding based, and this is something where I went in and there was no like line work or underdrawing for this. I just went straight in and started painting and blocking out shapes and values. So that was an interesting challenge because I barely ever do that.
Yeah, dude. And it's great to see. Like you just adapted fucking on the fly, off the cuff, pure skill. It's dope.
Thank you.
All right. Well, good piece, Kanji. Let's move on. Richie Yang, otherwise known as Do It.
More.
Yen.
Believe me,
Zhongheng.
my name's hard for a lot. My name's a hard name to pronounce, even in my own tongue, in my own native language.
Zhongji Zhong, man. Zhongji Zhong.
All right.
So I got you.
Wow.
I got you up, Richie.
All right. So I went a little bit more literal in terms of, and a little bit more cliche in terms of whatchamacallit, my design. And I almost went a little anime-ish with it. So I ended up playing with the idea about him being more of a spectral type of character. And then considering that he's more of a shapeshifter too and a trickster, I didn't really want to give him a solid form, but I did want to kind of make him creepy still. So I utilized a lot of the design motifs. I decided to pay homage to a lot of the original design of Beetlejuice, the stripes. I gave him a little bit of a black design in the middle that kind of is similar to the black tie. The hair silhouette is in there. The deep set eyes being part of the being more so of the skull area and stuff, and then a shit ton of smoke. Yeah. So
Nice.
I mean, it was a pretty straightforward design. I wish I had more time to really work on it, but it is what it is. So
Well, that's all right. That's part of the challenge. So tell us more about
Yep.
the like how the head and stuff functions. Like
so I was thinking of it as more of kind of like the spectral form of Beetlejuice kind of like stays in his skull, and then it creates, so he kind of creates his body from smoke and stuff that just kind of takes the form of whatever he wants. So the only thing that's actually solid is the top of his skull, so that's why there's no mandible. I
that's
also,
fun.
because he is a bit of a and because he is kind of a trickster as well as he's a little slapstick, I kind of played with like that old clown collar type of idea with almost like a cape going over his shoulders. But then in the original designs, and I'll be honest, I did the thing I tell my students never to do, which is I hid the hands and feet because I just I just wasn't having it with hands and feet while working on it.
Well,
So
they're hard.
oh yeah, they're hard, but I was just annoyed by them. They weren't coming out the way I wanted them to. So the forearms are much more extended. Shoulder, he had like a much more hunched forward shoulder blades. I went with like a little bit of that creepy musculature, being able to kind of see the rib cage. I wanted this. I wanted to make it feel more like he wasn't really wearing anything besides that cape and mantle. Everything else is just kind of like the craziness of his skin being painted, or him making that skin kind of be part of his unquote suit in its operation.
Well, skin is like
And then
moving smoke, right? Like his skin, like it's
yeah,
just
pretty much. Yeah, it's just kind of moving around. So I kind of visualized those stripes kind of moving throughout while he moves, almost like Rorschach, how Rorschach's face is always moving in the film.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
Yeah, it's like
this
flowing
guy,
into each other and stuff.
yep. So this guy would be a pain in the ass to CGI for a film.
That would still be cool though. I really like how the smoke is coming off of the white parts of the stripes. Yeah, that's cool.
Or maybe they hold the skull and gaze into the eye sockets and say Beetlejuice 3 times, and then start shaking, and then they drop it, and then smoke starts pouring out of it, and then there you go. It's almost like a genie.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
I actually get kind of a Ghostbusters ghost vibe from this, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I was kind of really wanting to do a kind of ghostly vibe with him. I wanted to still kind of stay a little human with him, but not superhuman, or not like not human for a 1-to-1 type of ratio. I don't know. I wanted to exaggerate some parts of him a little bit more and whatnot.
So Richie Yang, what's your favorite part about it?
The hair.
The smoky hair.
Just the way the smoky hair came out. Like I really loved the way that I was able to kind of keep that craziness. Like I mentioned earlier with Beetlejuice, how like his hair creates like a really strong silhouette. I was happy that I was able to kind of convey the hair in it without it really being hair, and just kind of making it feel more like the smoke is taking up that graphic look of the hair. Yeah. And the part I hate the most: no hands, no feet.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I dig the overall concept though. That like with the like the only material piece of his body is the skull. Like you could form a whole like story over that, like because he committed suicide, so now he's bound by what's left of him. Like and that even that part is rotting away still. So in another few hundred years, that part will be dust, and he'll be like in no like he won't have a handle on anything. But
Yeah.
yeah, cool concept, dude.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
Thanks.
Um,
Yeah.
I think is it just me left? It's just me, right?
Yep.
All right,
The main attraction.
get out of here. All right, so
Yeah.
I I went a little impish. I went a little impish with mine. Uh, and this is a part of it. I didn't just want to design like like Beetlejuice. Like I couldn't. I had trouble going too far away from the original idea of him being wearing what he was wearing because it just started turning into something else. So like Chucky, I had trouble deviating from that. I gave him like different mouth and kind of more impish features, kind of sharper ears and crazier hair. Can't see the sides of his head, but he's got they're like it's shaved. He's got like kind of a
Shaved.
faux hawk a little bit.
Mhm.
He's got his belly, his Beetlejuice belly, and claws and feet, and there's more to it. So we got
That's cool.
Whoa!
Nice.
Oh,
What the
so
hell?
I did a sandworm too, because
that's awesome.
because I did because I'm like, man, I don't know.
He really reminds me of something in the best possible way, and that's David Bowie.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah,
I
that's
could see
cool.
it.
I could totally see
Oh
that.
man.
He's got a bit of even with the pop belly, he's got a bit of the thin white Duke vibe about him. I really like that.
Well, thanks, man. So yeah, I wanted to add a little bit more. I actually I the whole idea was this, and then I don't know. I think I was more concerned with my comp than actually Beetlejuice's design. Even though I don't know, I think I I had a hard time changing him too much. I mean, he's different, but he's still he's not what.
James, switch it back to your screen.
Oh, sure. What happened? No, not you. Not you. Oh,
Oh.
there we go. So
Yes, Andrew, that's you.
so,
Sorry.
what are they saying?
Continue. Sorry.
Oh, they can't see a thing. Okay. But we're back. So yeah. So I went impish. I didn't go too crazy with changing his design utterly because every time I tried to do it, he started get taken away from the overall flavor of Beetlejuice. Like his I don't know, kind of like not utterly evil nature, like evil, but like not. I don't know. There had to be a little bit of uh, something a little bit lighter with it. So and so
You did a
that's
good job, man. You kept it.
Yeah, that's great.
well,
Yeah, that's a real challenge with him is keeping that lighter nature with him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
well, my mo with just about everything I do is not light. Like I go dark with absolutely everything. So,
Right.
but for whatever
Mhm.
reason, I couldn't do that with him because then it just turns into a totally different character. And I'm like, man, I can't.
Yeah.
I still need the blood. Like I can't just go totally off the tracks. At least for me, for the design. Like I could have, but in retrospect, I think
Yeah.
maybe I should have. But I don't know. This is what I came up with. So,
Mhm.
I think you walked that line good, man.
oh,
Yeah. I think so too.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that's
it's
really
really,
great.
really cool.
well, thanks, guys. So I suppose that's my least favorite part is what I just stated. My favorite part, I think the comp's kind of fun. Like like the at the end of Beetlejuice, what happens to Beetlejuice? Everybody remember?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Nope.
He's getting married to Lydia, and then the Maitland's the wife, I forget her name, Barbara,
Gina
she,
Davis.
Gina Davis, Barbara. She
Barbara.
comes through the ceiling on a sandworm, and the sandworm comes down and eats Beetlejuice. So this is kind of like saying
Yeah.
he's back. Like, here's the sandworm, here's Beetlejuice. Ha ha. So yeah, I thought it was
Oh, cool.
But should he have like a small head though? Right?
I know, right? Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. But yeah, so that's my Beetlejuice. And I'm sticking to it. And yeah.
Quick, whip out the transform tool and just shrink his head down like that.
Scream. He's mostly hair.
I would if it wasn't the master file. Computer will crash and save it or whatever. But that's it. That's it. That's all the Beetlejuice show. So next show we are going to be doing Predator. I don't know who's going to be involved here, but that will fall on. All right, cool. We got a Popa. That should fall on. We're going back to Sunday because I don't know. It seems like people like Sunday more, according to the poll in Monster Mash. Next show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the next show should be on the 12th of this coming month.
Yeah. Sorry, I won't be able to join.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. We're gonna keep doing these. So, anything you guys want to plug? Once again, we have. Please introduce yourselves one more time. If anybody wants to check your artwork down below, there's links to all the artists in the show. Here, I'll do the introducing. We got Alex Boca up in the upper left.
Yep.
Next is Alex Popa. We got Blake Henriksen. We got Amir Alam. Kefahalo.
Hey.
We got
Alhamdulillah.
we got Kanji Man. He can't wave because he's a picture. And we got Richie Yang over here, otherwise known as. And I am.
You know more.
I am J.R. Coffin. You will also find me below. So thanks for everybody. Thanks to everybody that watched the show. We will be on again, like I said, on the 12th, which will be on a Sunday. Still on the fence about going on Sunday or Monday. It seems like we get more of an audience on Monday, so I don't know. We'll try Sunday again, see if you guys show up. But thanks for coming by, and that is a wrap. Bye-bye.
Well, another one in the books. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Tune in next time, only on Monstieur. And hey, James. Nice fucking model. Honk honk.